Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this horrendous, utterly pathetic, sad of excuse of a Summerslam pay-per-view. Were there some good moments in the show? Yeah. Did I find the show to be 100% solid? Absolutely not. This show mostly was trash. It started off good, and as the show went on, it became worse and worse and worse. Not to mention the old saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. Well, I guess they proved that wrong in this wonderful matchup between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Because I'll tell you what, this fucking match, out of all the matches they've had, we've seen Roman Reigns hit a spear on Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar would always kick out at least the first spear. We see him hit one spear, and the show's over. Not to mention we had Braun Strowman tease that he wanted to cash in on the winner. Well, that was screwed over thanks to Braun Strowman, by Brock Lesnar. And the other thing is, it ended so sudden. It didn't feel natural. It felt rushed. It felt like, okay, we don't give a fuck, let's move on to the next thing. That's what this felt like. Honestly. This whole thing was utter, complete trash. I hated the main event. As to be expected, everybody else pretty much hated it because they were booing Roman Reigns out of the fucking building. Now, granted, we didn't see any riot going on. We didn't see anybody, the crowd flipping out. They pretty much expected what they were seeing. I didn't care for this show. At times, I was kind of hoping the show would just end already. So, whatever the case may be, may be. On the other hand, Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins started off the main card. They had a great matchup. I enjoyed that one. That was a very good match. 3.5 out of 5 stars. Good in-ring work, and I thought at one point Dean Ambrose, once Seth Rollins won the title, Dean Ambrose was going to turn on Seth Rollins, especially the fact that he was behind Seth Rollins while Seth was staring down Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre as they were walking up the ramp. So I thought maybe that was going to happen. That did not happen. So I do believe we're going to see Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins feud over the Intercontinental Championship, which would be a good idea and help bring some prestige to that championship once again. It would definitely give Dean Ambrose a reason to be Intercontinental Champion and give him more of a, momentum or kind of just a good reason to be Intercontinental Champion. Out of all of his Intercontinental title reigns, this probably would be the best one at this point if he was to beat Seth Rollins for the title. We had the Bludgeon Brothers defend the SmackDown Tag Team titles against the New Day. This match wasn't all that big of a deal. I did not care for it. I give it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. The Seth Rollins match with Dolph Ziggler, 3.25 out of 5 stars. Decent start off to the show. Next match after that was Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens in a one-sided squash match. 2 out of 5 stars. Based on name quality and the two competitors in the match, I give it that. And it was believable because, really, to be honest with you, Kevin Owens in reality has no shot in hell in beating the hell out of fucking Braun Strowman in a one-on-one regular matchup if he didn't have objects or something. If this match was a hardcore match, it would have been something more believable in the favor of Kevin Owens to have an opportunity to win. But, of course, I didn't figure that was going to happen. The next matchup after that was the Women's Championship match for SmackDown. This match was very good. I actually did enjoy it, especially the ending after Charlotte won. They did exactly what I said they needed to do. If they were going to make Charlotte become the Women's Champion again on SmackDown, you need to make Becky Lynch win. Becky Lynch become a heel, excuse me. So that's the bottom line to that. And they did exactly that. So I called that right there. I called it right the way it's supposed to be. If Becky Lynch wasn't turning heel, we should see Becky Lynch win. That's what my overall opinion should have happened, what I believe should have happened, but they went the route of Charlotte winning, Becky Lynch becoming heel, and beating the snot out of fucking Charlotte at the end of the match. So that was a very good idea and very good job on their part. I predict that Charlotte Flair will lose the SmackDown Women's title to Becky Lynch at Evolution. I think that's the right place and time for Becky Lynch to win the title, beat Charlotte for the very first time. It would be a very good moment in her career, especially at an all-women's pay-per-view for the first time ever in WWE. Now, you hear what I said. First time in WWE, not first time ever in wrestling history or something like that. So, yeah. This matchup, I give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Carmella actually did okay in this match. I wasn't too... Out of all the matches that she had a title defense or was in a title match, she actually was impressive, but that was because she had Charlotte and Becky Lynch in the match with her. So, at the end of the day, can you really say that she had an outstanding matchup? Not really. She needs another one-on-one match where she can actually carry the match with her opponent throughout from beginning to end and see how she does. But quite frankly, she has not been a women's champion of SmackDown as you would think she should be. So, yeah. Alright, so, next match after that, this matchup, by the way, was a 3.5 out of 5 stars. The next matchup after that was the WWE Championship between Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. I'm sorry, I'm just really burnt out. I had a long fucking weekend and I also worked for fucking 6 days, so excuse me if I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So this matchup was very good as well. I give this match a 4 out of 5 stars. Samoa Joe and AJ Styles had a very good matchup. I particularly kind of wish they would have had a finish to this match, but it was smart on their part if they wanted to continue on to Hell in a Cell, which would make more sense to have this matchup go at Hell in a Cell despite of the short amount of time they've been being rivals against each other for only a month and a quarter or so. So Hell in a Cell would be good to end this rivalry at that pay-per-view in the Hell in a Cell matchup. So I think that would be the best place for that to occur. It ended up being a disqualification. Samoa Joe talked some real trash to AJ's wife, stating, "I know I promised that I would have AJ coming back home to you guys, sending Dad back home, but unfortunately it looks like he's not coming home at all, so I guess I'm going to have to be your new daddy." Ooh, that's a real stinger. It kind of cost Samoa Joe. So intelligence-wise, based on the story here that they were telling, Samoa Joe was running his mouth a little too much. It cost him the opportunity to win because he really had AJ Styles beat just based on what was going on at this point. I mean, he took his head and smacked it right into the steel steps, and AJ was bleeding. Same for Seth Rollins, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Seth Rollins was bleeding for some strange reason. And of course we know Vince McMahon don't like these guys cutting themselves with blades. So apparently they had to get this from what happened in the middle of the match. So quite frank with you guys, a very good job on WWE's part with this match. Despite the fact that there was no winner, it was a disqualification. It really was a very good matchup overall, despite the ending. But if they do what they did here and extend it to Hell in a Cell in a more extreme, gruesome matchup, we will be able to say that these two guys had a great match with each other. I mean, they never had the opportunity to compete in a Hell in a Cell match in TNA like they will here with WWE. So it should be pretty entertaining. I think they probably will pull off, despite the fact that they're in a PG era, they'll still pull off a decent Hell in a Cell matchup with each other where they will get you entertained and hyped up for this match. So I'm not too concerned about that at all. Like I said, this match was a 4 out of 5 stars. Trying to think here of the matches that came up next after that. I believe the next match after that was Daniel Bryan and The Miz. This match, I don't know what the fuck happened here, but I was hyped for this match. This was one of the matches I was very, very intrigued for, and kind of felt a little bit more like this could have been your main event for SummerSlam. But as this match unfolded, it became more and more boring and boring. This was not a Daniel Bryan matchup that I'm used to. I am truly, for real, I truly feel like this is pathetic. They have totally watered down Daniel Bryan, put him in the shell of his former self, and the only thing he's got going for him is his name. His matchup with Miz was a complete flop. Miz did not do anything to help guide this match into higher gears and get people entertained. I was really disappointed in this matchup. This match to me gets a 2. And that's sad for me to say that because I didn't figure this match would be that bad. Lowest I kind of figured was a 3, a solid 3. But this to me was just trash. All you saw was kicks. There was no maneuvers. There was nothing going on between these two guys. This was utterly ridiculous bullshit. At the end of the day, we see a brass knucks handed from Maurice to Miz, and he tries to do a diving maneuver from the ring to the outside, and he gets punched in the face, pins, and 1, 2, 3. That's it. You telling me he could kick out of a fucking skull crushing finale, but he can't kick out of a gosh darn freaking punch to the face? The irony behind that is ridiculous. It's quite funny, to be serious with you for a moment. Not to sound like Lance Storm there, but Jesus Christ, man. These people are sick. I mean, the irony behind the fact that Daniel Bryan wanted to punch the Miz right in the mouth. He gets punched in the mouth with brass knucks and can't kick out. Unacceptable. Totally unacceptable and totally disrespectful. I mean, if you wanted to give The Miz a win, get a lucky pinfall or something. But they don't even go with an injury either. They don't go with anything. Just Daniel Bryan loses. Punch in the face, that's it. 2 out of 5 stars. Can't say any more than that. What trash. Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. What the fuck was this on the main card anyway? This was another squash match. Most of the matches on Raw had no care in the world of what the fuck was going on. I mean, literally, none of this made... Nothing on Raw was at all even a match. It was just like, come on, let's get this shit over with and get it done and move on to the next show. I mean, that's all we got here. Finn Balor came out as a demon. He got the biggest pop out of anybody in the fucking show. Because he comes out as the demon, alter ego of Finn Balor. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't dislike Finn Balor. I don't. I like Finn Balor. I don't hate him. But, my God, man, the man hasn't done shit for the last 2 years since coming back from his injury. Nothing. He hasn't won an Intercontinental title. He hasn't done anything on the main roster since he came from NXT. Outside of winning the Universal title, getting an injury, and coming back, he has done nothing. Nothing. Zilch. Nada. Not a fucking thing. He had a rivalry that looked like it was going to be built up between him and Samoa Joe at one point. That went bye-bye. For whatever reason. I don't know why. That was like in November of 2016 when he was coming back or some shit. I don't remember. 2017. Whichever year it was. Wrestling lately, outside of other promotions other than NXT of WWE, is complete and utter shit with WWE. Everything they do is crap. And yeah, I'm going to be doing reviews on Raw and SmackDown, so get used to these fucking reviews. You're going to enjoy my rants. Because I'm getting tired of not having enough views on this channel, and there's just so much fucking wrestling content to keep up with. I don't want to review every fucking thing that happens. So I keep up with NXT, and I'm going to throw Raw and SmackDown on there since it's the easiest thing to do. But this was garbage. Really, this should have been on the pre-show. We should have had the Cruiserweight title match with Cedric Alexander and Drew Gulak on the main card. I mean, where's the fucking 205 Live brand? We get it on the pre-show. Did any of you care to sit through 2 hours of fucking pre-show crap? I watched some of it. I'm glad I didn't watch all of it. Because I was pissed off that the fucking B team beat the Revival. The freaking Revival. A team that was freaking making the NXT tag team division flourish. Making them well known. They made the tag team even better than it was going in after they became champions. After they became champions, they made the NXT tag team division even better. That's what they give you. The B team beating the Revival. Cedric Alexander and Drew Gulak put on a pretty decent matchup as well, and they're put on the pre-show instead of the main card. When we could have seen a squash match happen on the pre-show. Unacceptable. Total trash. This match doesn't even get a 2, it gets a 1. Baron Corbin on a fucking main card show. Get the hell out of here. What garbage. What else? Shinsuke Nakamura and Jeff Hardy had a very decent match. I was very satisfied with this one. Definitely a matchup you could check out if you wanted to watch a replay of SummerSlam. If you do and you want to sit through this entire show, you're a fucking idiot. Because you're wasting your life away on ridiculous crap. But this match was decent. Definitely a hell of a lot better than their Extreme Rules match that went only 6 seconds. So, pick and choose your poison. I kind of choose this one over the fucking original match they had at Extreme Rules last month. So, yeah. Shinsuke Nakamura retained his championship, of course. And that's that. So, yeah, this matchup got a 3.75. 3/4 Three and a quarter stars. 3 3/4 of a star. So they got a decent rating from me on that. I think they did a good job. But the ending after the match was over with Randy Orton coming out, kind of looking down at Jeff Hardy and then walking back up the ramp as if, nah, I'm not going to do anything. That was retarded. Well, then why bring him out anyway? They should have just left him be and let him go relax and chill till Tuesday night. Elias had a moment in the show too, earlier on during the show. He broke his guitar. They wasted a segment on him breaking a guitar. Breaking a fucking guitar. This is what they got us watching. Ugh. I don't know how to fuck. I really honestly don't know how in the world people find positive things to say about this shit, but I can't. I just want to come on here and vent vent off on the shit I see, because it just helps me deal with the insane things that I see on WWE, and I'm a fan of WWE, I've always have been, but my God, man, what has happened to WWE is beyond me. I really don't know. I find it to be completely insane. Alright, Ronda Rousey and Alexa Bliss. Another squash match, but to be expected with this one. This match definitely was believable. It was most definitely believable. I mean, Ronda Rousey compared to Alexa Bliss in a real fight. I mean, come on, who are you gonna pick? You gonna pick Alexa Bliss? What are you, fucking nuts? One, the woman has no fighting background. Two, she's a fucking midget compared to Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey, for a woman's built like a brick house. I mean, she's an ass kicker. So, of course she was going to win this match. Very fun to watch, though, watching Alexa Bliss squeal and scream like a maniac, begging for her to stop. And she really fucked up her arm pretty bad. And I just enjoyed watching the victory. I honestly see quite a few list of opponents for Ronda Rousey to compete against. One is Nikki Bella. She's already being announced as being a person to compete for the Women's Championship against Ronda Rousey at Evolution. Natalya is another good one. Charlotte Flair is definitely going to happen. That needs to happen, and it's being predicted it's going to happen at WrestleMania 35. The other match that I think needs to happen is still Ronda Rousey versus Asuka. I think those two would have a great match, simply because of the fact that Asuka knows and looks like she's a believable fighter. She looks like a woman that could give Ronda Rousey a run for her money. And with the announcement of a rumor that she's going to be turned into a heel, that'll also even make things better. So, overall, that's great. This matchup, despite the fact that the match was short, it was still a good match overall. I'm going to give it a 3.5. That's the only rating I'm giving it. I am not giving it no fucking 4. And then the main event. Oh, God. Like I said, the old saying is Rome wasn't built in a day. Well, WWE apparently seems to have broken that motto. Rome is built in a day, because after one spear, Roman Reigns is your WWE Universal Champion. Why? After one fucking spear? I don't know. I really don't. This matchup was looking to be promising because of Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman said that he was going to cash in on whoever won this matchup, and Brock Lesnar screwed us over out of that. The match ended, and then the show went off the air instantly. That's it. Roman Reigns hits his spear, wins the title, raises the belt above his head, and the show goes off the air. That's it. Roman Reigns, the new WWE Universal Champion. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good night, guys. That's what you give us? No possibility of Braun Strowman getting up? You already assume? You already make us assume that there's not going to be a cash-in? You don't give us like maybe 2 minutes extra to maybe see if maybe there's going to be a cash-in, or just the assumption that Braun Strowman, or just help us see that Braun Strowman will not be cashing in by how long it's taking him to get up. You know, have Roman Reigns stand in the middle of the ring and say, come on in. And Braun Strowman kind of walks away and says, no, not tonight, man. We'll do it at another time kind of deal. Nothing of that kind of nature. I mean, whatever. WWE makes their fans not care. That's why their product doesn't matter. That's why their product sucks. NXT, the creators of NXT make you care. They make you have passion for it. That crowd in Brooklyn tonight was nothing, and I mean nothing, compared to what NXT's Brooklyn crowd was like. Brooklyn at NXT on Saturday night was hot. They were hot as fuck. They were screaming at the top of their lungs. They were involved in every single match. They were part of the show, as well as the in-ring talent. You did not see that at this one. At WWE's Brooklyn event, Summerslam, the crowd was not invested at all. The crowd did not cheer. The crowd was barely responding, acting as if they were there. Hell, I even think that the Extreme Rules crowd was more invested than the fucking Brooklyn crowd. Nobody gave a flying fuck so much that Roman Reigns won the Universal Championship. Did we hear boos? Yeah, but did we hear a fucking scorching amount of boos? No. We didn't even hear cheers. Very little cheers. I'd say 90% of the crowd hated Roman Reigns. 10% of it was cheered to Roman Reigns. And my God, if you don't see that WWE has a political agenda, like has been said by other YouTubers who watch this shit and can see what is going on, you're an idiot. There was people booing the living shit out of this man, and yet they had the time to go through the crowd and show off signs. Congrats, new Roman being Universal Champion. We get signs for that. We get signs of... We show footage of people in the crowd screaming, Roman Reigns, and a guy wearing a Roman Reigns t-shirt. Trying to show off that there are male audience members who are 18 and above that cheer for Roman Reigns. Do you know who those people are? People that don't have a fucking clue and could care less about professional wrestling, because at the end of the day, in about 5 years from now, you probably won't even see them caring about watching the product anymore. I've been a loyal fan of professional wrestling since I was 5. I'm 30 years old. I have been watching wrestling since I was 25 years. 25 years. I've been around for 30 years. You're not going to go ahead and find anyone who's a casual wrestling fan watching a wrestling product for that long. No fucking way in hell. Because they do get fed up of it at some point. they find it to be boring, and they move on to something else because they're not I can't even say the word. They're not true fans of the product. They don't care about the product. They're there for the glimpse, the glamour, and the bullshit. And by the time, and most of these people that are casual wrestling fans are probably under 18, maybe under the age of 20, maybe a little in their early 20s. By like 24, 25, they probably won't give a shit about wrestling anymore. And they'll move on to something else, and Vince McMahon will have to get a new generation of people interested in his fucking overall product. The thing is, Triple H's NXT, his product centers around 18-year-olds and above, as well as children. So, I don't know what Vince McMahon's thing is, but I always thought Vince McMahon's overall audience target was every age group so that everyone can be satisfied. Well, for me, I'm not satisfied. I don't get no interest in watching this. I'm not invested in what I'm watching. These guys go in the ring, and they are watered down. They're shells of their former selves. Samoa Joe and AJ Styles, even though they were the best match on the card, they were also watered down. If you watched any of their matches they did in TNA together, one-on-one, you will say, what the fuck did I watch last night? They are watered down. They are not... If you put AJ Styles and Samoa Joe into an NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4, you would have gotten the same level quality as a Ricochet and Adam Cole or a Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. That's how good they really are. I know how good they are. I've watched them from the beginning when they became big in TNA. That's where these guys come from. They made TNA with their bare hands, with every match, with every entertaining spot that they did, with Christopher Daniels in a triple threat X Division championship match, which, by the way, still stands out to be the best match they've ever had in their illustrious careers, by the way. Outside of maybe a few other matches. But in TNA history, they put on the best match ever in TNA. Not one fucking match ever produced by TNA has ever come close to that match. That was at the... I'm trying to remember. I don't remember what it was, but it took place in 2005 pay-per-view. So if you have the Global Wrestling Network and you want to check that out, go to 2005 pay-per-views and you'll find it. Also headline Raven and Rhino for the NWA World Championship. It was Unbreakable, TNA Unbreakable, now I remember. Thinking about it. But yes, that's where they had their matchup. Bottom line is, guys, the show was not the quality it once was. There is good quality here, there are good talent here, and they are not being used in the proper way to help get the audience invested. And the people don't really give a fuck. They're sitting on their fucking hands, and they're not doing anything. They don't cheer, they don't boo, they don't do nothing. They just stare at the middle of the fucking ring, and they watch and go ooh and gah. Whatever. Fuck WWE, man. I still will watch it because I'm a professional wrestling fan. And that's all there is to it. And I've always loved WWE. But right now, they are in the worst time in wrestling history I have ever seen them in. I mean, 1995 was pretty fucking bad. For the last 3-4 years, they have been shit. Really. I'll be honest with you, since 2015 with the Roman initiative to get him to be in the main event of WrestleMania every year, this product has been garbage. That's all I have to say on this subject. Leave your comments and opinions down below. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and hit the like button if you like the video. Anyway, guys, I gotta get to bed, head to work tomorrow. I will speak to you tomorrow for Monday Night Raw review. Thanks a lot, guys, and have a great night. Bye.